right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to I think this is episode 27, Jonathan Tripp Live Talk Social Nation here. We're going live this morning because we're going to be talking about something I think a lot of people want to know about, or they've thought about, but they haven't really been able to solve. And it's, how do you go live when you're like super busy? How do you find the time to go live or produce that content, that live content in whatever shape, form, or fashion that you wanted to? How do you do it when you just don't have a lot of time? Today we're going to be talking about that on the show, guys. Thank you for joining us. Here's the mug shot of the day. It's very turquoisey, at least here in the studio it is. But guys, it is great to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Periscope, on Facebook. And did I actually share this into the group? I actually don't remember. Yes, I think I did. And we are actually live on YouTube somehow. Somehow we've been able to go live on YouTube. Now, what does that actually mean? I have no idea. Let me see here. How are you guys doing? If you guys would, hey Gail, hey Terry, who else do I see joining us today? I need to actually get into the broadcast. We did share. Hey Lindsay, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining us today. All right. How about this? While I'm doing this, would you guys share this out? Thank you for watching us. I really do appreciate it. Why don't we do this? Would you guys just share this out while we do our while we get through our intro? All right, guys, give me about 20 seconds. You go. Hey guys, all right, welcome to episode 27. We're going to be talking today about, well, what are we going to be talking about? I mean, there's lots of things to be talking about, but today specifically, we're going to be talking about 5 ways to go live consistently when you have very little time. Guys, my name is Jonathan Tripp. I am the host of this show somehow. Again and again, we just keep doing this, and guys, this really is this is one of the most fun things that I get to do during the week, besides make coffee. And you know what? Here's the thing, right? This wouldn't happen without you, and because of that, I wanted to put together, and I've got one thing today I wanted to talk about and share with you guys about what is going on within Live Talk Nation. But if you guys don't know actually what Live Talk Nation is, it's not gonna make any sense. So if you wanted to go over to, say, I don't know, let's just pick a pretty popular platform called like Facebook, you could find a community called Live Talk Nation. We host this show. We have over 800 members now, and I want to invite you guys, if you're into at all live streaming, social media, actually meeting, networking people that really care about stuff, maybe you should just join the group and see what's going on. If you are a blogger, if you are an Instagrammer, yeah, Instagramizer. But if you play with Instagram like I do, come on over, join the group, guys. We've got some really fun things going on. So that's over at Live Talk Nation, and that is kind of like the group, the home base of the group that you can join. And I want to ask you to do that, guys. Thank you everybody that's joining us on Periscope. Would you guys all, if you're on Periscope, just tap me a couple hearts, say hi, and tell me where you're from. If you're on Facebook, I'm actually also looking. I see a couple of you guys in there. Good morning, Chris Strub, Terry, and Lindsay. You guys, I'm glad to see you guys over there. I do think that this is actually in the group. I think I did that one. No, it's not in the group. Would one of you guys share this into the group? And believe it or not, I am actually, there we go. Now I can actually see the YouTube link. We get to see all the live comments. All the live comments on YouTube. All right, sound is going in and out here. Oh no, I'm really sad to hear that. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. But you never really can tell sometimes because it is live. All right, guys. How about this? What is going on in Instagram what is going on in social this week? There is actually, there's some things that are pretty. That are kind of cool, that are happening. And here's the thing, right? When it comes to social media stuff, it's really what it's what makes and connects people on the platform. I think it is all about how are you leveraging, how are you using the features on a platform to better reach your audience, right? This week we've seen a couple updates like face filters and things like that from Instagram, and again, it's more fun. I think they're adding this, not gamifying the platform, but they are adding several of these other little things, these other little features that are making it more fun. That's something you can just go live, or maybe you can add the face filters, you can do the stories, you can add now multiple pictures, you can do the live broadcast with the save feature and share. I mean, I'm liking this. I'm liking what's happened with this platform, and I'll be honest, it's taken a little bit of time to really be able to, I think, go live. And when you don't have like a huge, 50, 100,000, a million followers, it can be really frustrating trying to use any kind of those live features, because you feel like you're going live and literally nobody's coming. That's how it feels. But guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, right off the bat, it does take a little bit of time. You have to be consistent. You have to be there. You have to do some things that are fun. Hello, Nance. I do see you on Periscope. Thank you guys for joining us. So when it comes to doing things like when I'm going live on Instagram, right? I went live yesterday on Instagram. It was part of the 31 days challenge. I used that, but I also used it as kind of like a, hey, we're going to be talking about these things today. I gave you a couple of the ideas, maybe 2-3 of those ideas that were out there. What else? What else do we do with Instagram? How many of you guys actually still telling a story? Something, it's not just an update, it's not informational, it's not necessarily educational, maybe educational by just as a result of telling the story, but how many of you guys are actually telling stories on, whether it's Instagram stories or Instagram live? How many of you guys are actually doing that? And hey, I see Gail and I see Ryan Miller and Rachel Kerrigan. Thank you guys for joining us on the Facebook Live. I love it. Great to see you, Donna. Vegan Travels, love it. And these are all. Thank you guys for joining. This makes the show fun. I'll be honest with you. When you have an audience, it actually makes it a lot more fun. All right. So here's the other side of this thing, right? When you're telling the stories, we're using the Instagram filters and things like this. Why not use Snapchat? Why not use Messenger Day? Why not use Facebook stories? Why don't you use any of these other platforms? Why do you want to use Instagram? For me, it just really comes down, and this is actually going to solve a lot of the problems that I think that people have in general when they're trying to ask this question. You either need to decide one of two things. Where is your audience currently, so that you can be on the platform that they're going to use, or are you going to go and find a new audience and therefore now go to a new platform? That's going to solve like 90% of your problems. That's going to solve like 90% of your problems, and that is what actually I think that's what makes social. Because if I want to connect with a new audience, I'm not going to go to Instagram necessarily. I'm not really. I'm going to start using Periscope on a personal basis. And so during the 31 days live challenge, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute here, 31 days live challenge, if I actually want to connect with new people, I'm going to use that hashtag, and I'm going to use my mobile device, because I typically broadcast like this. It's landscape, it's got the lower thirds, it's got some different graphics, we can do camera switching and stuff like that, right? All these kind of fun things, at least it's meant to be fun. We can do those things, but when it comes time to telling a story, relating something a little bit more heartfelt, how do I want to do that? Happy belated birthday, Melissa Reyes. Thank you for watching us. How do you do that? You do that by making something that's very personal, and I think you need to find the platform that's going to do that. It's going to share a personal message that connects. Period. Guys, it's not always the super secret things. All right, there's not always all this stuff. Okay, so anyway, this is what I want to get into today. We talked about Instagram, some of the updates. One of the other things that's really popped up is LinkedIn is using now. Not a lot of people use LinkedIn. I'll be honest with you. I don't. I connect with it, but I don't really use the platform. But one of the things that's really kind of come up is being able to, how many of you guys actually have the app? If you guys have gone into the app, there's been some changes and things like this. And I want to challenge you guys to, if that is even close to a platform that you do share your content on, this might actually be a really great place. And to share your stories, but I don't mean in a, I'm walking down the street, I'm going to say hi to the dog, but I mean, share something that's informative, that's thoughtful, maybe that's a little bit more well-produced. That may actually be a really breakout platform, and here's the reason why, is because nobody's doing it on that platform. Yeah, we have like Gary Vee videos, and we've got the webinar style, embeds and things like this, but how many of you guys actually take time to tell a story on that platform? Very few people. And so if you want to stand out, do something different where everybody else is, and that's going to be that recipe. And so what I think is that LinkedIn is a really great place to start sharing some of that how-to content, some of that really good nitty-gritty detail, or that really educational stuff, because I think it's a big platform that a lot of people just aren't using. And by the way, guys, thank you everybody that is joining us right now. In the comments, let me ask you this. Is there a news story this week? Is there some news, something that happened in social media this week that's really important to you? I'd like to know. Here, let me grab some coffee, and you guys can follow me on Instagram. Don't you like the scrolling thirds and things like this? I love it because it makes my life a little bit easier, takes a little bit of the hands off. But without too much delay, guys, this is really the meat and potatoes, and I did want to, we're going to get right into right now. We're going to be talking about 5 ways to go live consistently when you have very little time. Yes, that is going to become a blog post. That's why the title's so long. It's a lot of words, but it kind of makes sense. And when you think about it, that's exactly how you're thinking. How do I go live when I don't have a lot of time? Oh man, I'm just saying, like, I being a dad, growing a business, meeting people and things like this. And it's not that everybody's life is always 24/7. What the point is that you guys always fill up your life with something. And when you have to add a new element in, of course, that means something else has to have less time. And I think, honestly, that's a really hard thing for a lot of people. I think a lot of people have a really hard time trying to figure it out. So if I'm just going to scroll back through, I'm just making sure. I'm just looking through, seeing if I got any of the comments. Gail, I can talk with you about that. It's a great question. How do you determine where your audience is currently? Oh, that's a really good question. Awesome. All right. Tim Lynch, awesome, man. I see Catherine Lang. Excellent. You guys are okay. If you guys like that, you guys are gonna like this. Ben, I see you kind of lurking on the watching. All right. Do me a favor. If you guys haven't yet, please share this out. I love it. I want to see this on Periscope. I want to see this on Facebook. That's where you guys are. Okay. So let's kind of get right down to it. Okay. There is a lot to be said for when you make content, okay? That it deserves your attention. It deserves everybody's attention when it's done well and when you have something to say. And it could be on how great the coffee tastes. It could be on what a nice date is. Having something to say is going to differ for everybody. Okay, and this is where you as the content creator is going to be working on how to connect with your audience. So how do you go live consistently when you have very little time? Here's number one. Do one thing at a time. Just do one thing at a time. Don't try to broadcast in 5 locations and have your email list subscribing out and trying to integrate this thing and have it snapping this and Instagram. Guys, it's way too much. When you don't have a lot of time, just do one thing. Go live on your mobile. Just grab your mobile, go live, and just and say your piece. And you know what? The next time you're gonna do that same thing, but you're gonna add one thing. Maybe you're gonna practice your intro. Maybe you're gonna practice and be a little bit more smooth and that you remember your name. And guys, I love to tell this story because this is how awful I was. This is how, it was bad. Mia Voss, you'd appreciate this story. Okay. So when I was first starting to go live and first starting to use video, I got nervous. I got nervous. Why? For no reason, literally no reason. I've been public speaking for most of my, if not all of my adult life. Okay, I very rarely do I get actually nervous when I talk in front of people. You know what makes me nervous is when I don't know what I'm doing. So then that's how you know. That's how you know when things are bad, when I have no idea. All right, so one of the first things, when I started doing one of my first videos trying to introduce, hi, my name is Jonathan Tripp, and whatever the website was, I think at the time, or whatever it was like, hi, I'm Jonathan Tripp, I'm here from, I don't know, let's pick Tennessee. Hi, this is Jonathan Tripp, I'm coming to you from Tennessee today, and I want to welcome you to our event. It's a great event here, and whatever I was saying, I did that intro 26 times. Because I couldn't get past my name. I forgot where I was. I forgot what the event was. I got it out of order. I didn't know. I stumbled over my words. I actually couldn't get 15 seconds of straight film saying something very, very, very plain, very introductory. I couldn't do it. And I got so much in my way because I was trying to do too many things with that first video. I was trying to introduce myself and I hadn't prepped. I hadn't really thought about, oh, this is what I want to say. And when you first start, you have to do that thing. So do one thing at a time. Don't try to broadcast everything. Don't try to be everywhere all at once. And yes, David, it was 26 times. And I kept those videos on my phone for the longest time to remind me that I suck and that I need to get better. All right, the number two thing I want to talk to you about and share with you, at least is in my opinion, the number two thing is consistency is not the same as frequency, okay? Being consistent in your go live or when you go live is not the same thing as how many times you go live. I know a lot of people, they have like, well, I need to go live 5, 6, 7, 8 times in the day. It's almost like they're tweeting they need to go live that many times. No, you don't. You don't need to go live a whole bunch of times in order to be consistent. You know what? It's almost like writing your blog. And I've heard the same thing, and I've actually said the same thing with your blog posts, or maybe going, connecting with your Facebook followers or whatever it is. It is not about that you go live a whole bunch of times. It's the fact that they know that every Friday you're going to do a show. Every Wednesday we're going to do a Twitter chat, okay? That they know that and they can count on that. That is consistency. That is not the same thing as frequency, okay? And I think that's a really important part. Now, number 3. Now, I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are going to cringe when it comes to your live streaming shows or your impromptu things. You're not going to like this. I guarantee you're not going to like it. It's have a template. Have something standardized. Have an outline. Have it prepped. Think about it before you just simply go live. So if you have a lot of moving parts, a lot of elements, maybe you're bringing in a guest or something like that, think about that. What is it that you're going to do? But when you have a template or an outline or something that's kind of reliable on your end, then it makes the show a lot easier. For me, I always have my intro reel. I have the time. Hey, welcome everybody. I have the actually show intro. That's a nice video cut for me. We have a little bit of social news. We have another card. I'm telling you guys my whole outline right here, right? And then we have whatever that piece is, whether it's an interview or whatever it is. And then there's some outro credits. And in between there, maybe there's some different CTAs. Maybe there's, so I have my basic outline, but I also know how to change it up a little bit because I'm secure in what I know as an outline works. That is, I think to me, that is a very, that's probably one of the biggest calm my nerves factor is that I know how the show's going to go. I don't need the outline up there unless I'm doing a lot of different moving parts, but I do make an outline for every week. And part of that process helps me. And having that template, knowing that the show basically is going to go in this order. I'm telling you, when we broadcast and produce other people's shows and things like this, absolutely, I got to know what the outline is, at least the elements, and then you can flip it up and move it around, do whatever you want, because now I know and I can help you and you can go live that way. So that one is, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't like that one because that means that they have to prep, and I'll be honest, that's not the sexy part of broadcasting. I don't know if I've ever said that to you guys before, but having an outline and things like that, nobody likes to do that. It's not fun. It's not what people want. So have a template. The next one, and then so this is number 4. I'm going to tell you guys, use a calendar. Okay. Now remember, calendars are just tools. This is not. Don't get bogged down or so immersed in the world of scheduling and outlining and calendaring, because guys, those are just tools to help you get going. It's kind of like getting the cart before the horse. When you put so much time into the calendar that you actually don't produce any content, I'm going to say, look, you need to scale back on your calendaring. You're over calendaring, not even over scheduling. You're just over calendaring. You're letting the tool be the content instead of actually producing the content. How many of you guys have ever done that? I mean, be honest, because I do. I like to make sure that my calendar's all color-coded and that, it's got all the right links and that all the capitalization's the right way. Guess what? Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares. Okay? When you make that tool become more important than the content you're actually producing, you've got it backwards, and you're creating a stumbling block for you, and you're making more steps for you to go live. So when you don't have a lot of time, this is one of those things. Look at your process or your workflow to get going. Are you using too many steps to go live? If so, cut them out. Go back to the basics, guys. Then start right again. Do one thing at a time. Be consistent in it. Have that outline, that little template to help you get going. Follow the calendar. Now, this is one thing I really wanted to go. Oh, good, Melissa, I love it. I like the outline, right? And then Catherine said, we talked about having a storyboard on media chat last night. That's awesome. That is a great way to do that. Plan it out, especially when you're doing stories. You're coming with that outline. I like that. I'm sorry I missed that comment before. That's an excellent point. Have that storyboard. It's also a good practice to know how effective is your story. And I'm sorry guys, I keep looking off screen because or off camera because my screen's over there for the Facebook stuff today. All right, so that last thing I'm going to say, use a calendar. Now, here is the thing with the calendar. Okay, here's the challenge with the actual calendar. It's to use it enough to make it effective, all right? But it has to be full of information enough to be useful, all right? And so this is what I mean by that, okay? You need to schedule out your content in terms of like, hey, look, you don't have to know that at 9:32 on Wednesday morning you need to go live, and if it's 9:35, just flip the tables. We're all done. No, what I'm saying, like, I'll start really simple when it comes to calendaring and things like this. No, like, hey, look, I'm gonna go live once every day for 5 minutes. I want to do a late night. I want to connect. I want to share it like after my day, after everybody's gone to bed, after the whole day, the whole house is quiet, it's clean, it's done these things. Now it's quiet. Look, I need some time, and this is where I'm going to share what my day was. Or maybe while you're out doing something on your lunch break. If you have that 15-minute break, maybe at work, maybe you just want to step outside and look at the sky, or maybe you want to walk some steps or something. Share what you're doing. Those are the kind of things, but you know that, hey, on my lunch break, I go live, or in the morning, I go live, or I'm going to be at an event, so I'm going to go live there. Whatever that fits that live video component, but just know that, hey, every day I'm going to go live. I'm going to spend 5 minutes of my day thinking about what I'm going to go live about, and then I'm going to spend another 5 minutes going live and actually doing it. So guys, there's 10 minutes in your day that you can go live by using the calendar, knowing how often, and it also helps budget your time in terms of that that, I've already gone live today. Like, I don't need, amongst all the other content maybe that you're producing or that you're promoting out there, this is just a great way. Now the last one is this. Here's number 5. Find accountability or find support. Find people that will help you along in this. And this is the community factor. We've talked about tools. We've talked about habits. All right. We've talked about even kind of like a little bit about mindset, right? I didn't want to call it mindset because a lot of people just kind of tune out. They zone out when they hear that word. But we've talked about all those things. But the last one is community. Find support. Find accountability. So in July, David Vaughn surprised me and said, hey, John, I'm going to challenge you to go live 31 days live, at least 5 minutes, any topic, once a day for the entire month of July. All right. And then out of that, some people started some groups and they started using the hashtag. There's now a website for it, if I'm not mistaken, to get into the groups. It just makes it a little easier. What is it? Live. What is it? What's the, if you want to put it in there, I'm going to wait, but it's livevideoacademy.com. You can go over there and just do that. I'll plug it like that, right? So here's the other side, right? Finding accountability and support is not just other people that are doing the same thing, because if you guys are all missing and nobody's actually following up and going, hey, good job with that. Hey, I saw your video. Donna, you tag me in the videos and I watch them. I love them. I like them, and you know, being a part of that community, being tagged in those, I appreciate it, because I mean, I love seeing the content. I love seeing, just, you know, it's not just the same thing every day. You switch it up. Thank you, David, for doing that. I'm going to pin that bad boy right up there. All right. So when I say find support, then even within the event, even within your habit forming activities to go live consistently, finding that support, maybe finding that person that's going to be like, hey guys, you know, you missed a day. So now you got to do 2 today. You know, I mean, then they can tease you. You can say, look, I had a hard time. Look, I tried this challenge. It didn't work. And having that other person there is going to be like, okay, fine. Then just start again today. Let's just start again, and don't let it get out of the way, get it out of control, so that you just defeat one day after another, and then pretty soon there's no challenge, right? So find support, find accountability, find a community. You can do that through that. You can. We have a number of people in Live Talk Nation that are doing it, and they post it, and they actually go live in the group. William Slays is one. I love it. I think it's awesome that he does that. It's kind of fun, right? So in doing that and talking about that, we've talked about using calendars, using tools, promoting things out, and all those kinds of things. So here's one of the things that we've done in the past, and I want to see if you guys like this idea. Okay, I actually want to see how you guys like it. Okay, one of the things that we've done in the past is we've made it so that people are able to actually tell other people about their shows. Okay, we used to do this actually way back in the day when we first started up. It was a community calendar, Live Talk, and then we called ourselves Blab Nation. Now it's Live Talk community calendar. And so if you have, so what I made is a Google Calendar that you can put your shows in. Okay, and it obviously, so if you put your show in, it's going to ask you for a link. It's going to ask you for some other stuff, and it's a work in progress. But this form right here is actually going to get it so that you can post your show. You can post your live show. You can post a podcast if you're going to do something that you want a lot of people at, or it's just another place. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, at first, not a lot of people are going to see it because nobody's using it yet. But there might be something. I put it together and we refreshed it, kind of updated it with a little bit just to make sure that we've got all our bases covered and things like this. But I wanted to put this out there, and that's over at jonathantripp.com/share your show. And that's the submission. And I will post the actual calendar link, which is actually also, I host it on my website, but I'll make sure that the calendar link is actually a part of that, so you guys can go over it and you guys can see, hey, what's actually on the calendar? What is on the calendar? And I use Google Calendars because pretty much everybody uses it, but I just wanted to make one tool or something to try to help make it easier for you guys to go live, or at least to share your show for people that go live. So guys, I think all in all, I think you guys kind of get it, and I'll just go over it really quickly. Here's the recap. How do you go live consistently when you have very little time? Guys, start out, just do one thing at a time. 2, be consistent, but that doesn't necessarily mean frequent. Find the time that people can expect to know that you're going to actually go live. In the morning, in the evening, one time a week, maybe twice a week, whatever it is. Have an outline, have a pattern, have a template to make it going live a little bit easier so that you know and you can rely on that and introduce yourself, your topic, or whatever it is, but have the outline. It makes the show go smoother from the host or from the producer side. Use a calendar to make sure that you're actually going to go live when you say you're going to go live. You're going to make time in your life to do that. And the last one is find accountants and find a support and accountability. It makes things a lot easier when you know that you've got somebody that's got your back. All right, guys. So with that, I also just want to thank you guys, everybody that's in Live Talk Nation, for being a part of the show. You know, you guys showing up week in, week out, that's huge. I love it. I'm so glad to have you guys there. It really does make a big difference as we kind of change the show from just about me, and we're gonna be booking some guests in August. Hopefully you guys will like some of that stuff. If so, reach out to me. Just say, hey, I'd like to see this person in. But anyway, that's your guys' challenge. I think we do we have an after? Yes, we do have an after show. We do actually have an after show. And you can go to fblive.davidvaughn.live. That's a lot of dots and lives and David Vaughn's. But guys, I love it. Guys, if you would, please, when you go over to share your show, make sure you just sign up for the email list. I'm going to start sharing out some of these updates and some of these blog posts and things like that in that email list. And it'd be a great way for us just to keep connected, and you guys can add your 2 cents, and I really appreciate it. So let me do that. Does that actual link, does the actual link for the show, for the after chat, does that actually work? I think it does. But anyway, guys, go over there, Facebook, fblive.davidvaughn.live. I'm sure we'll also be in the group again. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. You know, this really is about you. You know, you guys are a big part of this show, and so I really do want to say, guys, thank you so much. And you know, that's that, I guess. All right, guys. You guys take care. Okay, bye-bye.